There comes a time in life when you must surrender, a time when you release the weight of worry, the stress of striving, and the fear of uncertainty. You have been running, searching, pushing, but what if I told you that God has already prepared the way, that your blessings are not found in struggle, but in trust? Today I invite you to step into a divine truth. You are no longer responsible for forcing things to happen because God has taken over. You have spent so much of your life believing that struggle is necessary, that in order to receive, you must first suffer, push, and prove yourself worthy. But what if that is not the truth? What if the very thing you are holding on to is the very thing keeping you from your blessings? There is a time to work, and there is a time to surrender. There is a time to step forward in faith, and there is a time to allow God to carry you. But you cannot do both at the same time. You cannot pray for guidance and then hold on to worry. You cannot ask for divine intervention and then continue to struggle as if you are alone. You must choose. The burden you carry, the worry, the stress, the fear, was never meant for you. It is a weight that has been placed upon your shoulders by a world that does not understand divine flow. You were taught that if you don't work hard enough, you won't succeed. That if you don't fight for what you want, you'll never have it. That if you don't control every detail, your life will fall apart. But I want to tell you today that none of this is true. God is not asking you to prove yourself. He is asking you to trust Him. He is not demanding that you exhaust yourself to the point of breaking. He is inviting you to rest in His promises. The struggle you feel is not a sign that you need to do more. It is a sign that you need to let go. Letting go does not mean giving up. It does not mean you stop taking action altogether. It means that you stop forcing, you stop pushing, and you stop believing that your worth is measured by how much effort you put in. There is a difference between aligned action and desperate struggle. When you are aligned with God's plan, your actions feel inspired, effortless, and joyful. When you are struggling, your actions feel exhausting, frustrating, and filled with doubt. God did not create you to live in a constant state of stress. He did not place you on this earth just so you could spend your days worrying about the next paycheck, the next opportunity, or the next phase of your life. He placed you here to experience His abundance, His love, and His grace. But in order to receive that, you must stop carrying burdens that do not belong to you. Look at nature. The birds do not worry about their next meal. The trees do not stress over when the rain will come. Everything in nature trusts the divine timing of its creation. And yet here you are, believing that you must figure everything out on your own. You were created in the image of God. You are a divine being, not a machine that must work until exhaustion to prove its worth. The moment you release struggle, you open yourself to miracles. The moment you stop chasing, what you desire begins to find you. Because in truth, it was never about your effort. It was always about your energy. When you are in a state of struggle, you are sending out a message of lack, fear, and resistance. But when you step into a state of trust, you become a magnet for blessings. Struggle keeps you stuck. Trust sets you free. So how do you begin to let go? You start by shifting your mindset. Instead of waking up and immediately worrying about what you need to do, wake up and remind yourself God is already working on my behalf. Instead of forcing yourself to find solutions, take a deep breath and say, I trust that everything is unfolding perfectly. Instead of believing that you must fight for what is yours, remind yourself, what is meant for me cannot be taken from me. You do not have to know all the answers. You do not have to have everything figured out. You simply have to trust that God already does. When you begin to live in this trust, you will notice how things shift. The opportunities you once struggled to find will start appearing effortlessly. The relationships you once had to chase will naturally align. The blessings you once doubted would come will start flowing to you with ease. This is not magic, it is faith in action. It is the divine law of the universe. When you release struggle, you step into the life God has always intended for you. So today I ask you, are you willing to lay your burdens down? Are you willing to release the idea that you must do it all alone? Are you ready to trust that God has already made a way? Because the moment you do, your life will never be the same. There is a divine plan unfolding in your life, whether you see it or not. Whether you feel lost, confused, or uncertain, God is guiding you every step of the way. It is easy to believe that you must figure everything out on your own, that you must have all the answers, that you must plan every detail to ensure success. But the truth is, God already knows the way. He has already prepared the path, and your job is not to struggle, but to trust. Think about all the times in your life when things worked out in ways you could not have planned. Think about the moments when you worried endlessly, only to look back and realize that everything fell into place at exactly the right time. That was not coincidence. That was God's hand at work. Yet even knowing this, we still doubt, we still question, we still feel the need to control. But what would happen if you truly let go? What if you fully trusted that God is leading you exactly where you need to be? When you trust that God knows the way, you release the pressure of having to figure everything out. You no longer need to carry the weight of the unknown because you understand that He is already ahead of you, clearing the path, arranging the details, and setting things in motion. Your only responsibility is to stay open, to listen, and to follow where He leads. But trust is not always easy. We live in a world that demands certainty. We want proof. We want to see the entire plan before we take the first step. Yet that is not how faith works. Faith is walking forward even when you cannot see what's ahead. Faith is believing that even in the silence, even in the waiting, God is still working. Faith is knowing that just because things aren't happening on your timeline doesn't mean they aren't happening at all. Consider a seed planted in the soil. For weeks, it looks like nothing is happening. There is no sign of growth, no visible change. But beneath the surface, something powerful is taking place. Roots are forming, foundations are being built, and soon, at the right time, the plant will break through the soil and flourish. Your life works the same way. Just because you cannot see the progress doesn't mean it isn't happening. God is working beneath the surface, aligning everything for your highest good. When you rush the process, you interfere with divine timing. When you try to control everything, you close yourself off from greater possibilities. But when you trust, you allow yourself to be guided effortlessly. You become receptive to miracles. You align with the divine flow, where things unfold naturally, without force, without struggle, without fear. For so long, you've been told that the key to success is to hustle, to work harder, push more, and never stop grinding. You've been conditioned to believe that the more you struggle, the more you prove your worth. But what if there was another way? What if success, fulfillment, and abundance were not about exhausting yourself, but about aligning yourself? Hustling is rooted in the belief that you must force things to happen. It is the mindset that tells you that if you don't work hard enough, if you don't sacrifice enough, if you don't chase after every opportunity, you will fail. And so you push, you struggle, and you exhaust yourself trying to make things happen. But deep down, you feel drained. You feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough. That is because hustling without alignment leads to burnout, not success. Alignment, on the other hand, is about working with the flow of life rather than against it. It is about tuning into your inner wisdom, listening to divine guidance, and allowing things to unfold with ease rather than force. When you are aligned, your actions feel inspired rather than exhausting. You move with clarity rather than confusion. Opportunities come naturally rather than needing to be chased. This does not mean that you stop taking action. It does not mean that you sit back and do nothing. It means that the action you take comes from a place of trust rather than fear. It means you are led by purpose rather than pressure. It means you work with the natural rhythm of life rather than against it. Think about the times in your life when things felt effortless, when an opportunity appeared at the right moment, when a conversation led to a breakthrough, when things seemed to fall into place perfectly. That was alignment at work. That was not a result of struggling. It was a result of being in the right energy at the right time with the right mindset. So how do you shift from hustling to aligning? First, you must release the belief that struggle equals success. You must unlearn the idea that the harder you push, the more you will receive. While effort is important, it is not the only factor in success. Energy, mindset, and alignment matter just as much, if not more. Begin to notice when you are acting out of fear versus faith. Are you pushing because you are afraid of failing? Are you chasing because you don't trust that things will come to you? Awareness is the first step to shifting. Next, learn to listen. In the noise of hustling, your inner guidance is often drowned out. You become so busy doing that you forget to be. But alignment requires stillness. It requires listening to your intuition, paying attention to signs, and being open to guidance. Make space in your day for quiet moments, whether through prayer, meditation, or simply sitting in silence. Ask for clarity and trust that the answers will come. Then move from forced action to inspired action. When you are in alignment, your actions feel natural, joyful, and fulfilling. You no longer feel like you are running on empty. Instead of constantly chasing after things, you begin attracting them. Inspired action is when you take steps based on guidance rather than desperation. It feels good, it feels right, and it leads to better results with less struggle. Another key part of alignment is trust. Trust that what is meant for you will not pass you by. Trust that opportunities will find you. Trust that the right people, the right moments, and the right circumstances will unfold at the perfect time. When you trust, you let go of the frantic energy that comes with hustling. You step into a place of confidence, knowing that you are divinely supported. Finally, shift your focus from quantity to quality. Hustling is about doing as much as possible, as quickly as possible, but alignment is about doing what truly matters. It is about prioritizing the things that bring the most value to your life rather than simply staying busy. Ask yourself, are the things you are working on bringing you closer to your purpose, or are they just distractions disguised as productivity? Success does not have to be hard. The universe is not testing you to see how much you can endure. It is guiding you toward a life of ease, flow, and abundance, if you are willing to trust it. So today, make the decision to step away from the hustle and into alignment. Choose to work with life rather than against it. Allow yourself to be guided rather than forcing every step. And watch as everything begins to fall into place. Not because you struggled, but because you finally allowed yourself to receive. Your words have power. What you speak, you invite into your life. What you affirm, you begin to manifest. Yet, so many people speak from a place of lack, doubt, and fear. They say, I hope one day I'll have success. I wish I could be happy. Maybe things will get better. And with these words, they unknowingly push their desires further away. But when you shift your language, when you speak as if it is already done, you align yourself with the very reality you wish to create. Speaking as if it is already done is not about pretending or ignoring reality. It is about declaring with faith, with confidence, and with certainty that what you desire is already on its way. It is about choosing to align your words with the outcome you want rather than the fears that hold you back. When you say, I am successful, even before the physical evidence shows up, you begin to embody that energy. When you say, I am loved, I am worthy, I am abundant, you start to shift your mindset, your actions, and your entire being into alignment with that truth. And as you do, the world around you responds. Everything in life is energy. Your words send out vibrations, and those vibrations shape your reality. Think about it. When you constantly talk about how hard life is, how broke you are, how unlucky you feel, does it not seem like more of that continues to show up? But when you shift your language and declare everything is working in my favor, abundance flows to me, I attract opportunities effortlessly, you begin to see changes. It is not magic, it is alignment, it is faith, it is the power of speaking life into your desires. One of the greatest mistakes people make is waiting until they see results before they believe. But faith is believing before you see. It is trusting that just because something hasn't manifested yet doesn't mean it isn't already yours. The moment you ask, the moment you desire something with a pure heart, the universe begins aligning circumstances to bring it to you. Your job is not to doubt. Your job is to declare it as already done and move forward with that knowing. So how do you practice this? How do you shift from speaking doubt to speaking certainty? Fear is the greatest barrier to living the life you are meant to live. It whispers doubt into your mind, making you question whether you are good enough, strong enough, or worthy enough. It keeps you small, hesitant, and stuck in a cycle of overthinking and worrying. But faith is the key that unlocks the door to a life of peace, abundance, and divine alignment. Faith is knowing that even when you can't see the way is being made for you. It is trusting that you are guided, supported, and never alone. Too often, people allow fear to dictate their choices. They hesitate to take risks. They delay their dreams, and they settle for less than they deserve because they are afraid of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. But the truth is, fear only has power if you give it power. It only controls you if you allow it to control you. The moment you decide to walk in faith instead of fear, everything changes. Walking in faith means trusting that the path ahead is already prepared for you. It means believing that even if you don't have all the answers, they will come at the right time. It means moving forward with confidence, even when circumstances don't yet reflect the outcome you desire. Faith is not about waiting until everything is perfect before you take action. It is about taking action, knowing that perfection is already in the process. Think about a time in your life when something seemed impossible, but somehow things worked out. Maybe you were worried about finances, but the money arrived just in time. Maybe you feared you wouldn't recover from heartbreak, but love found its way back to you. Maybe you thought a door was closed forever, but suddenly a better one opened. That was faith in action. Even if you didn't realize it at the time, you were being guided, you were being protected, you were being led towards something greater. So how do you shift from walking in fear to walking in faith? First, you must recognize fear for what it is, an illusion. Fear is a product of the mind, a story you tell yourself about what might go wrong. But just because you think something doesn't mean it is true. Fear thrives on uncertainty, but faith embraces it. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What if I succeed?" Instead of saying, "I don't know what's going to happen," say, "I trust that everything is unfolding for my highest good." The words you speak shape the reality you experience. Choose words that reflect faith, not fear. Next, take action, even when you feel uncertain. Fear wants you to stay stuck, but faith requires movement. You don't need to have all the answers before you begin. You just need to begin. When you step forward in faith, even in small ways, you build confidence. You show yourself that you are capable, that you are supported, and that you are not walking this path alone. Every step you take in faith strengthens your trust in the process. Another powerful way to cultivate faith is through gratitude. Fear focuses on what is lacking, but faith focuses on what is already present. When you take time to acknowledge the blessings in your life, the opportunities, the lessons, the moments of divine timing, you remind yourself that you have always been taken care of. You have made it through every challenge before, and you will make it through this one too. Gratitude shifts your perspective from fear to trust. It is also important to surround yourself with faith-filled energy. The people you listen to, the messages you absorb, and the thoughts you entertain all influence your mindset. If you are constantly exposed to negativity, doubt, and fear, it becomes difficult to walk in faith. But when you fill your mind with uplifting words, inspiring stories, and affirmations of truth, your faith grows stronger. Protect your energy. Choose to engage with people and ideas that reinforce the belief that all things are working together for your good. Lastly, surrender. Walking in faith is not about forcing things to happen. It is about allowing. It is about releasing control and trusting that the universe, God, or whatever higher power you believe in is already orchestrating everything for you. Fear makes you grasp, chase, and worry. Faith allows you to let go, knowing that what is meant for you will never miss you. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting that you don't have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Every great success, every beautiful love story, every breakthrough moment in life happens when fear is replaced with faith. When you decide that you will no longer let doubt dictate your life, you step into a new reality, one where you are free, empowered, and open to the miracles waiting for you. So today, choose faith over fear. Walk forward with confidence. Know that you are being guided every step of the way. Even when you can't see the full picture, trust that the masterpiece is already complete. Speak faith, think faith, live faith, and watch as the world transforms around you. There is a time for everything, a time to plant and a time to harvest. A time to begin and a time to wait, a time to step forward and a time to surrender. Life unfolds in perfect divine timing, yet so many people struggle with impatience, doubt, and the fear that things are not happening fast enough. But the truth is, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. When you rest in the assurance of divine timing, you let go of worry and embrace the peace that comes from knowing that what is meant for you will come at the right time in the right way. Too often people try to rush the process. They want results immediately. They want to see their dreams manifest overnight. They compare their journey to others and wonder why things seem to be taking so long. But divine timing does not operate on human impatience. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not on its way. It simply means that the conditions are still being prepared. Think about nature. A seed does not grow into a tree overnight. There is a process, one that cannot be rushed. First, the seed is planted. Then it must take root in the soil, growing beneath the surface before anything is visible. Only when the time is right does the sprout break through the ground, reaching for the sunlight. But even then, it continues to grow in stages, each step necessary for its full development. Your life works the same way. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean nothing is happening. Growth is taking place beneath the surface. Things are aligning in ways you cannot yet see. When you rest in divine timing, you release the need to force things. You stop pushing, chasing, and trying to control every outcome. Instead, you trust that everything is happening for you, not against you. Even delays, setbacks, and detours are part of the divine plan. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually protection. Sometimes what feels like rejection is redirection. What you think you need right now may not be what's best for you. And in time, you will look back and see that every waiting period, every unexpected turn was guiding you to something greater. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you wait. If you wait with frustration, fear, and doubt, you block the very blessings that are making their way to you. But if you wait with faith, peace, and expectation, you open yourself to receiving in the perfect way. Instead of asking, why is this taking so long, say, I trust that things are working out for me. Instead of feeling anxious about the future, say, I know everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Your words and thoughts shape your reality, so choose to align them with faith rather than fear. One of the most powerful things you can do is focus on what you can control while surrendering what you cannot. Take inspired action when it is needed, but also know when to step back and allow things to flow. If something isn't happening yet, it doesn't mean it won't. It simply means that either you're not ready for it or it's not ready for you. Trust that when the time is right, everything will fall into place effortlessly. Resting in divine timing also means embracing the present moment. So many people miss the beauty of now because they are too focused on when. They keep saying, I'll be happy when I get the job, when I meet the right person, when I achieve my goal. But happiness is not meant to be postponed. There are gifts in every stage of life. And when you learn to appreciate where you are right now, you create the energy that attracts even more blessings. Think about the times in your life when things worked out in ways you never expected, the opportunities that came at just the right moment, the people who entered your life when you least anticipated it, the problems that seemed impossible but were resolved in ways you couldn't have planned. Those moments are proof that divine timing is always at work. You are never forgotten. You are never overlooked. Every desire in your heart is known, and it is all being arranged in perfect order.